Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well and safe. My name is Hamid. I'm happy and so delighted to have you in another video. In this video we are going to shed light on social constructivist theory toward learning. Within the framework of constructivism there are actually two perspectives. We have already covered cognitive constructivism. I will provide you with the video link in the description. Regarding this video, we are going to see social constructivism. So let's make a start. Social constructivism is based on sociocultural theory of Vygotsky. It defines learning as active constructing of knowledge through social interaction. To make more sense of this definition, we are going to examine its keywords. The first keyword is active constructing of knowledge. So what does social constructivism mean by this keyword? For social constructivism, learners do not passively absorb knowledge, but rather there is a construction of meaning, which means that learners are active agents when it comes to learning. Social constructivism also sees that learners make meaningful connections between the pre-existing knowledge and the coming knowledge. This means that there is an active process that goes on within the human mind while learning. Through this process, learners associate the common knowledge with the prior knowledge. Based on this keyword, social constructivism sees learning as a process through which learners actively construct their knowledge based on pre-existing knowledge. The second keyword in this definition is social interaction. For Vygotsky, learning is strongly linked to the input from others. This means that learners depend on the input from others to construct their own knowledge. This seems to contradict with the idea that learners actively construct their knowledge. But for Vygotsky, knowledge may be passively received, but understanding cannot be passive. Moreover, he believes that learning happens twice. First on the social level, which means among people, and later on the individual level, which means within the individual. However, for social constructivism, learning depends on sign systems that individuals grow up with, such as verbal and nonverbal languages. Here, knowledge learners receive relies on sign systems. An example of these sign systems is language. Through language, ideas, pieces of information, and knowledge in general are transmitted from one individual to another. So far, we have covered how social constructivism defines learning, but how does this learning take place? To answer this question, we are going to shed light on some principles of sociocultural theory of Vygotsky. For Vygotsky, cultures constantly invent tools to manipulate environment. These tools are called cultural tools. Throughout the history, people faced several challenges. To overcome these challenges, they came up with various tools. For example, cultures invented cars to manipulate time and distance. They also invented dams to manipulate drought, languages to manipulate communication, and finally, they invented psychological tools to manipulate various real-world problems. For psychological tools, they are slightly different from the previous tools. Unlike tangible tools, psychological tools are abstract. As they are indicated as psychological, they lay within our minds. Psychological tools can take the form of various techniques, strategies, and methods to deal with various real-world problems. Psychological cultural tools are collected in cultural toolkits within our minds. For Vygotsky, what contributes to individuals developing their cultural toolkits is the knowledge from others. Furthermore, for Vygotsky, when learners internalize the tools, they develop the ability to solve problems called self-regulation. I know that the psychological tools are a bit complex to understand, so let's see a visual example of these tools. Hassan is finding trouble with a bee. He tries to get it away by hand. However, the bee stings him. Hassan returns home unhappy. His father has seen all the incident and gives Hassan a piece of advice. He tells Hassan that he always ignores the bee to keep this from happening. This piece of advice is considered to be a psychological cultural tool to deal with bee problems. Hassan is going to incorporate this tool into his cultural toolkit of solutions for bee problems. Then Hassan is going to be self-regulating. There are several other concepts used by Vygotsky to describe learning. One of these concepts is mediation. So what is mediation about? To explain this concept, let's see a visual illustration. This is Adam. He is finding trouble doing a task, and certainly he is in need of assistance. This is the job of superheroes, and yeah, one is coming. The superhero in this case is the Batwoman. The teacher. But yeah, she is a superhero either. The teacher offers assistance and mediates between Adam and his difficult task. This process is called mediation, and it happens when the more capable peers or adults equip the learners with assistance through explaining, modeling, or breaking down complex skills, knowledge, or concepts. The superhero, the teacher, is called significant other. Significant others can be either teachers, parents, more capable peers, or knowledgeable adults. Vygotsky believes that complex tasks such as reasoning and problem solving are developed via mediation. The second concept used by Vygotsky is scaffolding. Let's see an example of scaffolding. One of Asma's dreams is to have a driving license and become able to drive. Consequently, she engages in a driving school. The job of the driving instructor is to mediate between Asma and the task that is driving a car. For the purpose of making this mediation more fruitful, the driving instructor provides Asma with a great deal of assistance at the beginning, and he diminishes this assistance gradually until Asma becomes able to drive alone. This mediation on purpose is called scaffolding, and it happens when the significant other provides a learner with a great deal of assistance during the early stages of learning, and then diminishing that assistance or support and having the learner take on increasing responsibility as soon as she is or he is able. For Vygotsky, before the significant other mediates between the learner and the task, there is a key factor that should be taken into account. It is the zone of development or the level of the learner. We can distinguish between three zones of development. The zone of current development involves tasks that a learner can accomplish alone. The zone of proximal development involves tasks that a learner can accomplish with the assistance of significant other. And finally, the zone of impossible development, which involves tasks that a learner cannot accomplish even with the assistance of significant other. We can determine whether the task at hand is within the zone of current proximal or impossible development based on the prior knowledge of the learner. Vygotsky emphasizes that learners should be exposed to tasks that are within their zone of proximal development. This means that the tasks should be challenging but not too difficult. In this slide, we are going to shed light on some classroom implementations of social constructivism. Cooperative learning activities should be planned with groups of students at different levels to help each other. Teachers can use hints and prompts to help students. The use of hints and prompts should be diminished gradually. Teachers should plan instruction that enables students to practice within their zone of proximal development. Thank you for watching this video. See you.